I want to welcome Agile XRM to the podcast. I've known the people at Agile XRM for the past 12 years. I've seen how their business process management tool can add massive value to complex organizational processes in sectors such as finance and government. If you have complex processes or a need for dialogues on the Power Platform or Dynamics 365, take a look at how this BPM tool can add value. You can find them at agilexrm.com or check out the show notes for more details. Welcome to the MVP Show. My intention is that you listen to the stories of these MVP guests and are inspired to become an MVP and bring value to the world through your skills. If you have not checked it out already, I do a YouTube series called How to Become an MVP. The link is in the show notes. With that, let's get on with the show. Today's guest is from the Netherlands. He works at Dynamics People, a Dynamics 365 and Power Platform technical consultancy. He was first awarded as MVP in 2023. He's interested in CRM, social CRM, email marketing, social media integration, customer service, and adding value to CRM projects. You can find links to his bio and social media in the show notes for this episode. Welcome to the show, Wilmer.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for having me.
Tell us a bit about you. Tell us about food, family, and fun. What do you do when you're not focusing on your career?
Well, I would like to start at saying that I was born in Ecuador. I am originally from Ecuador. And in my spare time, I like to go out with my girlfriend. Sometimes go to the gym, play some video games when I have the time. And sometimes, of course, I like to work on the community.
Fantastic. Tell me what's amazing about Ecuador? Give me some background. I don't know much about Ecuador.
Well, it's a Latin American country next to Colombia and Peru. You will find there everything. You have mountains, you have the jungle, you have beaches. The food is really amazing. The specialty in there is the seafood. So my favorite dish, for instance, is the ceviche.
Ceviche. So is the ceviche done in coconut or lemon and what type of fish do you use?
You can use every type of fish, even shrimps you can use. And you don't use coconut. I think that's the Peruvian version. For the Ecuadorian version, it's just lemon.
Lemon. Beautiful. Hopefully I'll get to go there one day. What took you to the Netherlands?
Well, that's a long story, but a long short story is when I was working in Ecuador, I decided to move to another country in 2015. That country was Uruguay. So in Uruguay, I learned a lot. And then I decided to move to Spain in 2019. Yes, to continue my professional development. And last year, I moved to the Netherlands. I'm living in Amsterdam. So far, I really like it.
What's your favorite thing about Amsterdam?
Everything. I mean, the vibe of the city. The city is really beautiful. And if I can complain something, it could be the weather. Yeah, but it's some minor things. I really like it. I'm really happy here.
Nice. How did you get into IT? What was your career journey?
Well, that is what I studied in the university. I started working on the CRM world in 2012 with Sugar CRM, which is another SaaS CRM. And the year after, I moved to Dynamics CRM. That's how we used to call it back then.
Yeah. What version was that?
2011 on-premise. I think the best version of the all on-premises version.
Yeah, before we all started moving to the cloud.
Yeah. I would like to say then I met 2013, which I hated. And then, well, of course, 2015, 16, and go on.
What's of all the tool sets that you have in Microsoft Business applications, whether it be Dynamics 365, customer service, field service, marketing, etc., and even then moving to the Power Platform, Power Automate, Power Apps, Power Virtual Agents, Power BI, and Power Pages, which of all those, what's your favorite tool set to work with and do projects in?
Used to be sales model. Nowadays, I'm more focused on the Power Platform. And I would like to say that Power Automate is my favorite model.
Nice. Are you building full apps on the Power Platform, like model-driven apps? And
yeah, I'm building model-driven apps, Canvas apps. Nowadays, even custom pages using the Creator Kit, which I love it. And from time to time, some Power Pages sites. But I think in every project I end up using Power Automate, which I love it. I even know a little bit about the Power Automate desktop.
Yep. So if you look back in your history, you would have worked with originally Windows Workflow Foundation as your automation tool inside of CRM back then. How do you find the difference between the automation tools there and then Power Automate?
Well, to be honest, I didn't work with Windows Workflow Foundation.
Did you do any automation back in CRM 2011?
Yeah, and that was using Kingways using SQL Server.
I used to use Kingways Soft. Yeah, that would have been good for migrating data in. But did you do any kind of like event reminders or any kind of automatic emails, anything like that back in CRM 2011?
No, not that I remember.
Wow. Because that was the main automation tool, which was borrowed really from SharePoint back in those days. And one thing that it could do was workflows that were synchronous, not just asynchronous workflows. And so those, we still don't have full synchronous workflows yet in Power Automate.
Yeah, I know. It's a pity.
What other shortfalls do you see in the Power Platform that you would like to see Microsoft build out?
Well, this is a hope from my side that I would like to see more engagement on the AI Builder and PVA model. With this AI skill challenge, which is really good. That's a good thing to, for all the starters to get know more these two models, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say, from my personal point of view, I haven't implemented in a big project. So the features that I know from these two models is because I like to play around with these two models.
Yeah. And what type of things do you use, particularly AI Builder for?
AI Builder?
Yeah, what do you use it for?
Well, the times that I tested in my developer environment was to upload some documents, to recognize some key phrases, or the typical model that you have to train a little bit for invoices.
Right. You mentioned that you'd work with Power Pages. What were the use cases that you're using Power Pages for?
Well, a big project that I remember was to build a Power Apps portal back then, Power Apps portal. So the user can log in to the site and they want to request a certificate as a proof that they attended to a course. This could be online or on-site, right? So from the Power Pages side, I called Cloudflow to generate a PDF document using just Word templates. And then the Power Automate, the Cloudflow, call a Power Automate desktop, send in the PDF document, and the Power Automate desktop added a digital signature in the PDF document. In the end, I was sending an email to the customer with the PDF attached.
Wow. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. The is that the only project you work with Power Pages?
No. That was one of the biggest that I remember. Last one was a little bit smaller with knowledge base, cases.
And well, like, was it for a utility company or a retail company? What type of company was using it?
The last project, it was a company that was selling licenses.
Gotcha. Excellent. Tell me, how did you become an MVP? What was that process for you?
Was a little bit rough, I will say, because last year I applied to become MVP, and Microsoft rejected me. But I'm glad they did, because they told me, or they gave me a really specific feedback, which it helped me a lot to improve. So that's why I started my own blog. That's why I'm participating more often in community events, building some solutions like, PCF or some other driven apps.
Okay. And tell me, which do you prefer, as in model-driven apps or PCF? As in, do you prefer creating the controls and things like that, or?
It depends, I will say. It depends on the requirement, of course. My first option will be a custom page. If I cannot do it, then I will go for a PCF.
Interesting. What's the most creative PCF you've built?
Drag and drop files to upload the files to SharePoint.
Yep. Brilliant. I see that you speak at a range of events. Are they all remote or in-person type of events? You got your Power Pages Bootcamp, I see.
I participate in some online events. This year, I started to participate on on-site events, let's say.
Nice. And what is easier about on-site events as opposed to online events?
Well, I will say there is no comparison. I really like to be on on-site events. The networking, the people, everything is way better.
Do you feel that you present differently in person as into remote?
Good question. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Do you do anything different? Do you do anything different around when you're presenting online, around how you engage your audience as opposed to how you engage when you're in the room with them?
To be honest, I think it will be easier to present online. But I feel more comfortable to be on site. I don't know why.
Interesting. Do you get more interaction from people online or more interaction in
on site. On site.
Interesting.
Maybe it could be that one. I don't know. But I feel more comfortable on site.
Yeah, interesting. What's been the highlight of becoming an MVP for you?
Well, it was a tough path, but once that I get it, I was so happy. And I'm still trying to ignore all the emails that I get every day. But in the end, I mean, it's nice to be recognized from Microsoft for all the work that you do for the community. But that is only one of how you say it in English. It's just a small detail, because the biggest part of this is to help the community, to share your knowledge. So that's why I started this path.
What's been your experience in the last 6 months with AI, more generally? So outside of AI Builder, things like copilots, things like large language models. What have you been doing in the AI space?
Not that much, to be honest. And I want to try the Copilot features for instance, Power Pages site, to create a site. And also I would like to try out these minor features with Copilot in the sales model.
Okay. Have you been doing any hands-on with it, any learning of it at the moment?
Just learning on the release wave. So I'm waiting for those features to become a preview even to try it out on the sales model.
Are you aware you have early access to it?
Yeah.
You've got access under your MVP tenant that you can actually, the Copilot, I think I've had Copilot in mind now for 3 months, 4 months maybe. Have you had a look at that?
No, not yet.
Yeah, so it might be worth.
But definitely I will look at it.
Jumping into your MVP tenant's one of your benefits, and you get early access to all that, even before it hits any of the wave cycles.
Definitely I will do it then.
Wilmer, it's been great. It's been great to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me again, Mark.
Hey, thanks for listening. I'm your host, Business Application MVP Mark Smith, otherwise known as the NZ365 Guy. If you like the show and want to be a supporter, check out buymeacoffee.com/NZ365 Guy. Thanks again, and see you next time.